Please take note that the programs and other transmissions aired on Madani channel may contain clips of various occasions and audible editing.
صلوا على الحبيب صلى الله تعالى على محمد नियत मुमिन खैरुम मिन अमलिही। मुसलमान की नियत उसके अमल से बेहतर है। अल्लाह अज़्ज़वजल की रज़ा पाने और सवाब कमाने की गर्ज से सिलसिला देखने से पहले अच्छी अच्छी नियतें फरमा लीजिए। अल्लाह की रज़ा की खातिर इल्म दीन हासिल करूंगा, सीखकर दूसरों तक नेकी की दावत पहुंचाऊंगा, खास खास बातें लिखूंगा, अव्वल ता आखिर देखूंगा। सल्लु अलल हबीब सल्लल्लाहु तआला अला मुहम्मद।
You can buy stolen goods and sell them cheap immediately in the marketplace. Every person will come and buy from you and you will make a quick profit. There are many Muslims who leave Jum'ah with that thinking, if I don't go for Jum'ah, what the people will say. I have 15 people at my workplace and they all are going for Jum'ah. If I don't go, what will they say? No, Allah Ta'ala says, I have put your love in them. If Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala did not put that love, who would have brought up the child? But in the winter at the midnight, when he messes the clothes and everything, and mother wakes up and she washes the child and washes the clothes and makes sure that the child is warm and she's sleeping on the wet side of the bed. How can she do that? Who taught her that skill? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not put that love in the heart of the mother, the child would have been dead. Now he grows up. This building completes. Now when this building completed, when person reached the age of puberty, when he became baligh, so what is the desire of the builder? Desire of the builder is that I should live. But you chase the owner away. You allowed shaitan. You allowed your nafs. You allowed your desires. You allowed the norms of the culture, the peer pressure. There's so many evils that are around you. You accommodated that. But you chase the ahkam, the orders, the desires of Almighty Allah Azza wa Jal. Are you not an oppressor? But you earlier said that you won't tolerate that. Anyone to do that to another person. But you doing it yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do you tolerate that? When you don't perform salat, what are you doing? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, keep beard, trim moustache, don't make your faces like Jews. There are over 70 ahadith that are recorded. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that keep beard, because this is the sunnah of the prophets. All the prophets, they kept beard. And you got up in the morning, and you took the blade, and you shaved, and you threw it in the gutter, in the dirt. This that should have been a light for you in the grave. Hazrat Imaam-e-AhleSunnat radiallahu ta'ala anhu talks about the beard and he says, lahad mein iske rupe shah ka daag leke chale. He said, when I went to the qabr, I had this sport of love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, when you have a white sheet and you got a black dot, so it's a dot. And you can see that from very far, isn't it? And in fact, that will be the only thing that you will see. This is how negative we are. If you have a white sheet and you have a one dot, and if I tell you see what is there, you say, I see a dot. A small little dot, you'll see that, but all the other white that you won't see. If you measure the area which is white, is very big, you won't see that. But that one small black dot, that you will see. And this is how we measure people. We don't see the good quality, if there is one bad quality, that's the one that we will pick up. And that's the one that we will comment at. So Allah Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala says, that this my beard, this is a black dot on my white sheet. That's a white sheet, that's a body. But this black dot is a sign of love of my beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I kept that. Allah says, I kept that. And very qadr suni thi, charag leke chale. I heard that grave dark, but when I went to the grave, I realized that this was a lamp. This was a candle. This started giving me the light in the dark grave. I mean, look at that. Who shaves beard and who doesn't shave beard? Let's compare. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sahaba Kiram, Awliya Allah, do they shave beard? At least you don't know that much. Do they shave beard? Enemies of Allah and His Rasul, the kuffar, the majority of those people, they shave beard. Majority of Muslims, maybe not today. But few centuries back, that was the culture of the majority of the Muslims that they kept beard. Who should we follow? I mean, it's amazing that have you ever seen kuffar taking your culture? Christians, Jews, Hindus, they say no, Muslims, they look like this, they wear amama, they keep beard, they live like this. See how nice they look, let me become like them. Do they imitate you? Do they copy you? So what's wrong with you? You have an inferior complex or some problem? That you don't even have self-respect for yourself? That you want to imitate every devil and every evil? You should be setting the examples so they can follow you. What is wrong with us that we are leaving our culture, we are leaving our outlook, we are leaving our appearance, we are leaving our fashion, we are leaving our beauty, and we are running behind, do you hate you? We are running behind, do you hate your Nabi? We are running behind who do not even believe that your Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a true messenger of Allah. So, what has happened to us? We have neglected the beautiful sunnah of the beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in every aspect of our lives. And we have become the prey, the easy prey of all the evils, the culture, the peer pressure, the norms of the society, the desires, the nafs, the shaitan. Use Muslim power. Use that rule. Use that ruhaniya that stood up against every evil. And with all difficulties, Muslims managed to practice this beautiful deen of Islam. Your migration, most of you, maybe your forefathers come from subcontinent Indo-Pak. You think they just came to look for rosy? They were dying with hunger in that part of the world? No! They were still living with respect. They never gave up. But you moved with a reason. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a natural system of moving people from place to place. So wherever they go their deen, their Islam, their culture lived, and they can go and show the beauty and the light of Islam to the rest of the world. That's the reason that you came here. Have you forgotten? Now there is one thing only in front of us. I must have school education, I must have degree, I must have diploma, I must get a job. Full stop. And just go, work like a machine, time to time, go at this time, come at this time, sit 1-2 hours, watch TV, sleep, get up in the morning, go again. Same routine. Are you progressing? No, you're not progressing. Even if you not say, well, I've been promoted, my salary is increased, but your Islamic life is not improved, you're not progressing. So dearest Islamic brothers, we are sinners. We keep on committing sins upon sins. But there are people because of whom Islam is still alive. الَّذِينَ يَبِيتُونَ لِرَبِّهِمْ سُجَّدًا وَقِيَامًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls every night from the first heaven. Is there anyone that wants forgiveness so I can forgive him? Is there anyone that wants risk I can give him? Anyone who wants children so I can bless him with the children? But we're snoring, we're sleeping, we don't get the advantage of that offer. Now that offer is given in a particular time, but his offer is not wasted because there are people who get it at that time. There are people who read tahajjud. There are people who are in the sajda, in the ruku. There are people who are crying in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal, and they're seeking forgiveness and they're asking favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows our weakness. But they are handful. Those who spend their nights in the dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal, they are handful. So they have taken everything away. What about these sinners? Look at His mercy. We have done everything to make Him angry. We have done everything so He can take every ni'mat away from us. We deserve nothing. Believe me, we deserve nothing. If anyone feels that, I'm getting my rozi because I'm good, I'm worth, that's a big deception of shaitan. You're worth nothing. But He's so loving, He's so kind, He's so merciful. that He would still give us opportunity. You are running towards Jahannam, you got a race. So normally people have a race to get something nice, but we have a race towards Jahannam. We are racing. Everyone is running, everyone feels, let's see who reaches first. But when you don't care about namaz, you don't care about halal and haram, you don't care about how to control your tongue, you don't care about ghibah, you do so many things. What it means? It means it's a race. It's a race towards, not Jannah, it's a race towards Jahannam. So we all are running. But with all that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us opportunities again and again because He wants to see that more and more of the ummatis of His beloved Nabi come to Jannat. He loves that, He likes to see. So He creates opportunities for us. His mercy needs an excuse. So like tonight, Shab Barat is an excuse. He tells this sinner, ummatis of His beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I was calling you throughout the year, you didn't get up? You didn't get up. You didn't take advantage of that. But I will give you one night in your life that you don't have to worry about getting up in the last part of the night. So I'll give you that opportunity right from the sunset to the dawn. So the similar favor that I was doing to my awliya in the last part of the night, I'll do that for you right from Maghrib. So therefore, Hazrat Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that in the 15th night of Shaban, which we know as Shab Barat, make qiyam. Make qiyam means read namaz. You know, when you read a lot of namaz in a standing position, nafil namaz is called qiyam, make qiyam. So you do nawafil, do salatul tasbih, or whatever other nawafil that you can do, you do that. Read qaza namazes as well. That's also qiyam in the night. And in fact, those who have missed many salats, for them I will recommend one ibadat only. Whenever they get a chance, they must keep on reading their qaza. Keep on reading their qaza. That's the best ibadat for them. Instead of being in zikr, instead of being in this wazifa, instead of doing this and that, well, they got a big problem. They must just keep on doing qaza. That's the only ibadat they must do. So, he makes qiyam in the night, and he keeps fast during the day. That's tomorrow. Because in this night, from sunset right up to the dawn, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala concentrates towards the first heaven, and He says, is there anyone who seeks maghfirah, forgiveness? So I may forgive him. Is there anyone who seeks rizq, sustenance? I may grant him. Is there anyone who needs relief from calamities? I may give him relief. So the whole night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps on calling, and those who are lucky and they bow down in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal, and they make du'as and they make qiyam and they'll keep fast tomorrow, inshallah Azza wa Jal, they will not be deprived. And this hadith is in Ibn Majah, first volume, page 99. Now I gave this reference for a purpose, because there are rumors that there is no significance of Shab Barat or the 15th night of Shaban. Now this hadith that I have quoted to you specifically mentions the night of Nisf Sha'ban. The night of Nisf mean half. So half of Sha'ban is the 15th night. And that is mentioned in Hadith Mubarak. So how can people say that there is no significance of this night and this night is not mentioned anyway, unless they want to change Islamic culture, Islamic values, or the habits of the Muslims that they have from generations to generations, and they want to bring something new which is unknown to the Muslims, then they have evil intentions. So we should not worry about people coming with this type of articles or thoughts that this night is not important. Alhamdulillah, this night is important, and Muslims always took this night as very important. So Muslims have a practical consensus. So there is a practical consensus of the Muslim Ummah on the greatness of this night. So how could we even allow someone to come and say something like this or give hearing to something like that? In fact, before we even hear that, we should tell the person, I'm not interested. It's like somebody comes and tells you, oh, you prove it to me that Fajr is 2 rakat. So then you say, oh, let me go to Mufti Sahib, let me go to Maulana Sahib. Where is the proof that Fajr is 2 rakat? Do you really need a proof for that? Is this not good enough that you always read 2? Everywhere you went, it was 2. Your father read, they also read 2. You don't need to give hearing to such pathetic discussions. So similarly, I mean, the big night of Shab Barat, of Nisf of Shaban, is celebrated throughout the world in all ages by all the Muslims. You don't need to get a proof for that even. If you don't give hearing, you won't be able to say. He is saying because you are giving him hearing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq so we can benefit from this night and make some solid commitments. Let's take life more seriously. Let's understand that it's a one chance. There is no other chance. And we die, we close our eyes and we see the reality, and then we say, oh Allah, give me another chance. I'll do everything right. I won't waste my time. I'll learn how to please you. I'll learn how to perform my salat. I'll learn how to make wuzu. I'll learn how to make istinja. I'll learn the sharaid, the conditions of salat. I'll keep beard. I'll follow the sunnah. I'll live my life correctly, upright, everything. You think you'll get a chance. So when you know you're not going to get a chance, why don't you make a commitment today and say, I'm changing. I'm changing. Because the nafs will keep on telling you, it will keep on giving you goals and hopes. Let me achieve this, then I'll change. Let me achieve this, then I'll change. Let my daughter get married and then I'll do this. Let me build it, let me do this, let me do that. Let me go to Hajj, then I'll change. Who guaranteed you that you will go for Hajj? Who gave you a guarantee that you live till that time? And that's a deception of nafs. Dhokha. Something keeps on telling you, I will change, but let me do this, let me achieve this, let me finish this, let me finish that. Till you become old, the legs are in the grave, and then no hope, because old people don't change. Let me tell you, old people don't change. There is an age to change. And even if they're old and they want to change, they're changing because they can't do these things what they used to do. So what type of change is that? Hazrat Maulana Mureed rahmatullah ta'ala वैसे दर जवानी तौबा करदन शेवा-e पैगंबरी in youth age, जवानी में to make tawbah in youth age is the way of the prophets. Whose way is that? The way of the prophets. वक्त पीली बुर्द जालिम में शरद परहेजगार, and at the age of old age, even that wolf that attacks other animals and eats them and scales them, when it becomes old, then that old wolf says, "No, I don't bother. I won't hunt anymore. I won't hurt any other animal anymore." So what type of tawbah is that? You're making tawbah because you can't do it now. And when you were able to do it, you didn't make tawbah. But the old Islamic brothers must not feel that they got no hope. As being ummah of the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is a special concession for you. The special concession is that at whatever age you make tawbah, Allah will accept it. But this is just an example to encourage the youth. The youth, you the one. You the target. You the target, you in the eye of Allah and His Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They want you to change. And if you change, then you the power. Youth is the power. And we are interested in you. Alhamdulillah, I belong to a movement called Dawat-e-Islami. Dawat-e-Islami is interested in you, youth especially. We want everybody, but we are interested in youth. If you have seen Madani channel, you must have seen 99% of the people that you see on Madani channel, they are youth. If you take 1,000 people, you will see 999 with black beard and one with grey beard. That's the average. Alhamdulillah, youth are coming in thousands, hundreds of thousands, in millions. Because they're getting the taste of the love of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They're getting the taste of following the sunnah of the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This cultural, pressure, the norms, the peer pressure, this and that. These are the youth. They're sincere, they're good people, they're Muslims, they've got Iman. They love Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Something is stopping them. You as a parent, you're not helping them. Grandfathers, you're not helping them. Brothers, you're not helping them. They need to get out of that cave where they are. They need to be empowered. They need to be encouraged. They need to be built up. And if you take that fear away from you, the very same youth will be moving in your university, at the workplaces, in corporate world, with beards, with amama, with Islamic appearance. They will not feel shy. They feel shy because they are scared. You made them cowards. You made them feel that way, that if they don't look like this, everyone will laugh at you, everyone will mock at you, you won't be accepted. Who gave them that mindset? Because you live that life, so your children will pick up that from you. Alhamdulillah, many parts of the world, Dawat-e-Islami is encouraging the youth. That, Alhamdulillah, it doesn't matter where we are Muslims, this is our nishan, this is our identity, this is our introduction. We don't need to fear anyone. Actually, this is my opportunity to make contribution towards uplifting the beautiful deen of Islam. So, what if 2 or 3 people mark at me or look at me and make faces, I'm getting the reward. Because when they do that, I'm hurt. And when I'm hurt for deen, I get the reward. So you got a machine of reward with you working automatically. You done nothing, others are doing, you obey the salah. An Islamic brother has brought something into notice. You know, in my discussion, I said something that happened to be humorous and you laughed. My intention was not to say something to make you laugh, but coincidentally something was said, or it was said in such a way that you laughed. And you laughed loud, that the others could hear the voice. So it's in Hadith al-Mubarakah that when person laughs loud, laughing loud means that the others can hear you, your voice. That brings darkness in the grave. If person laughs loud in the masjid, that brings darkness in the grave, and it is haram to laugh loud in the masjid. So if I laugh, I make tawbah from that sin. And if you have laughed, you need to make tawbah from that sin. And in fact, we must be very serious when we are in the masjid. We must have serious discussions. We must allow people to speak in the masjid who are serious. We must not allow people to speak in the masjid who make people laugh. And we must sit respectfully in the masjid. Imagine you go and meet king. And you got a room like this, like masjid. And you are about to meet the king. How would you sit? Would you take the support of the wall and spread the legs? Would you sit like that? So why don't we do that when we come to masjid? We come here to make mulaqat with our Lord. So this is another masla. Hazrat has written that to take the support of the wall of the masjid is haram. Unless person is sickly, he needs the support, if an elderly person, then that is allowed. But those who do not have any of these medical or physical reasons, they should come try to sit in the front part of the masjid. Because this is how Sahaba used to sit in the masjid. And they were greedy to come early and leave last. We changed that too. We want to be the last one to come, and we want to be the first one to come out of the masjid. So something is like chasing you. Something is behind you with a stick. Don't stay long, don't stay long. You will be forgiven. You don't need forgiveness, you run out. So that nafs shaitan is chasing you and you listen to him, you have a friendship with him, so you run out. You know, big number of people in our society, in our community. It's something in the masjid that they don't feel comfortable, like their heart is not in. They will sit for watching 3 hours Indian movie, and once that movie finishes, they feel it was so small. They feel that it should have been another hour longer. But if you take an hour of thought, they'll show you 20 times. And Jummah, sometimes they get so emotional, they even stand up from the gathering. Maulana, tell me what? So, and the very same person who is showing you the watch, if you see his lifestyle, how many things he does on time, then you will understand that he has got no time concept. He has got no time management. But in the masjid to show Maulana, he will be the first one to show the watch. Which direction are we going? So dearest Islamic brothers, sometimes we keep on committing sins, we end up committing kufr. We joke, we laugh, we're not serious. wherever you go, people standing, cracking jokes, laughing, saying things. There's so many people that they purposely say things that they want other people to laugh. They are entertainers. And those who talk too much, they end up hurting someone, they end up uttering sometimes kalma kufr. And there are so many words of kufr that we don't know. Sometimes jokingly we say, who is Malikul Maut coming? You know, a person that's hard and harsh and fighting type of person. So we like give names. Arey wo Malikul Maut aa raha hai. That's a kufr. And so many people say, Upar wala, the one who is up, the man upstairs. So many people. That's a kufr. Because if you say Upar wala, you say the one who is up, then who is down, who is right, who is left, who is front, who is in the back. You limited him in the direction, you made him so small that he is only up and he is nowhere else. That's not Allah. Allah is free from directions. He is free from being up to down, right, left, front, back. There's so many other words that people use in their normal discussions. When are we going to put these things right? Alhamdulillah, there is a solution. Solution is that Alhamdulillah, Dawat-e-Islami has identified all these problems and have started working on that. And Alhamdulillah, Dawat-e-Islami has 3 days Madani Qafilas every month. Madani Qafila is a mobile school where you learn all these basic things that I'm talking here. So, give time. If after listening to this discussion, if you have realized any importance of these basic knowledges that we need to receive, then you have no option but to avail yourself. Alhamdulillah, there are dozens of qafilas that go from city to city, from one area to another area, and educate brothers about the basic knowledge of Islam. Let me tell you one story. Have you heard the name of Abu Mufti Azam Hind Rahmatullah? A great wali of Allah, great scholar, son of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat radiyallahu ta'ala. When people come to him and they say, no, I got jadoo, I got jinn, please help us. Instead of giving taweez, he'll teach them how to make ghusl. You know why? Because his philosophy was that jinn and jadoo happens to these people because they stay napak. They don't know how to make ghusl, so they stay napak. And napaki, the filth, attracts the evil jinns and this type of things. Because the evil jinns, they like to be at a filthy place. They don't like to be at a filthy place. You know, when you go to toilet, you are asked to make a dua. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal-khaba'ith. O Allah, I seek your protection from khabith, filthy jinns and female jinns. So why do you make dua at that time when you enter the toilet? Because toilet is the place of filth, and they like to be at the filthy places. You understand the reason? So when you stay napak, you filthy. So they are attracted towards you and they come and capture you. So jinn jadoo happens very easily on you if you stay napak. Maybe you think you are made yourself pak, but you didn't learn properly how to make yourself pak. So you stay napak. And in that state of napaki, you come into the masjid, you're getting sin. You're reading namaz in the state of napaki, you're getting sin. You're touching Quran in the state of napaki, you're getting sin. you reciting Quran in the state of Mataki, you're getting silly, and in your mind you're thinking, I'm doing a lot of good things, but in reality you're doing a lot of wrong things. And why are you doing a lot of wrong things? Because you didn't learn how to make yourself talk. So don't take these matters lightly, take them very seriously. Avail yourself, contact us. If you've got time, contact me, contact Shaikh, brothers. When we as a Qafila, which side? I'm free this weekend, can I join? Yes, you're most welcome. We'll tell you where we are. Come, join us for a weekend. And we'll help each other to improve ourselves. We'll learn the basics of Islam. Don't think that Shaitan will tell you, Nafs will tell you, oh, I don't need this. I know too much. I've been sitting with learned people. I've been sitting with such and such Maulana and Mufti and Baba and this and that. There's no guarantee that you know it. Just sitting won't make any difference. Something that you need to learn, you need to learn. It won't just come because you said here, you said there. So I'm asking you, embrace Dawat-e-Islami. Dawat-e-Islami is the Sunni solution. Sunni solution for your problems. It's a movement of millions and millions of people throughout the world. It's not something that you join yourself with and then you're outcasted. You are coming into the mainstream. So come into the mainstream. It's a pure teachings of Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala. It's a revival. It's a revival of Sunnah. It's a revival of teachings of Ahle-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. It's a revival of teachings of Sayyidina Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala. It's a revival of true Sunni identity. It's a revival of giving the correct message to the message out there that this is how the Sunnis look like. Not what the people have thought about Sunnis. A man, he started watching Madani channel, didn't belong to our camp. He got very impressed and he kept looking for them. He asked someone, where these people are? Where this Dawat-e-Islami operates in South Africa? So somebody gave our address. We got a Darul Uloom in Malaysia South. So this man came and he said very openly, he said, I'm here to make a confession that I belong to other party. I don't belong to you guys. But I was just playing with my remote and I picked up your Madani channel. And I started watching and my sons and my family said, don't watch, these people are bigoties. They do all the wrong things, don't watch them. But we started watching, just curious. Because after a few days, everybody started liking. Today, my whole family, my sons, my daughters, my wife, my parents, we full-time watch Madani channel. I said, how come? Well, actually we were told things about you people, Sunnis, that you don't read namaz, you don't follow Sunnah, you only listen to the music, you only cook and feed and go. That's the only area of your activities. You don't come to the masjid, you don't fill up the masjid. Your women don't wear hijab. He said, we were hearing all these things. But when we looked at the Madani channel, we realized all that was wrong. Well, the amount of sunnah that is being followed by you people, it's amazing. And how strict you people are with the Sharia. There is no intermingling of sexes. There is a strict parda in you people. So after that, we are impressed. So Dawat-e-Islami Madani channel is giving the true introduction of the Sunnis to the world. So we need to get out of these practices which are not sanctioned by Sharia. Sharia overrules. Any personality, any Maulana, any Mufti, any Shaikh, any Pir Sahib, any Baba, any this, any that, They all have to follow Sharia. Nobody is above Sharia. So if anyone did it in the past or doing it or will do, which is contrary to Sharia, it doesn't matter who is he rejected. That's the dini attitude. This is how we should be. We the followers of Allah, His Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And what our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ever shake hands with a woman? Did Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ever take bayat from a woman hand to hand? It's recorded that no rare mahram woman ever touched the hand mubarak of the beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam never allowed that. Now if Pir Sahib comes and he gives his hand to the female murid to kiss, you still take him as a ghaus at the time? So if that is happening in front of everybody, what picture of Sunnat are you presenting to the world? They are the laws. The laws made for the jinns to follow? No, laws are made for us to follow. So we have to present the true Sunni Islam to the world. And true Sunni Islam is that what we learn from the word of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So we stay in that, we'll be safe, and we will spread, believe me. We'll set those examples that people will find beauty in us. We deviate from that, people will run away from us. So you need to make a choice. Then what type of lifestyle we have to adopt. So we can protect the true teachings of Islam. We can protect the true Sunni tahzeeb, true Sunni culture and Sunni teachings as always Muslims practiced throughout the centuries. So we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to accept those humble advices that I have given, so we can practice on that what we have said and remember that and pass it over to others. And believe me, if today's program discussion have taken someone to that point where he has made a commitment to himself that from today I'm changing my life, then I'm very happy. Then I feel I've achieved something. Otherwise this 2 hours of talk means nothing. So I hope and I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may this discussion make some impact and it becomes sadqa-e-jaria for me. Well, if on my advice somebody makes a commitment and makes a resolution within himself, I might be forgiven for that. And we are sinners. We do not have any good deed in our Nama-e-Amal. Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when he was attacked and blood was coming out from his body and everybody realized that he won't make it. Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu stood up and he started praising him. He started saying nice things about him and how good he is, and he's the second Khalifa, and he's from Ashra Mubashara, and he's the father-in-law of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All these are unique qualities. And he stopped Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala. And he told him, Ali, this is not the time to praise Umar. If all the good things that you think I have in me, I just want one thing in return, that if Allah can forgive my sins. I mean, look at these five personalities. He was categorical Jannati. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told them he is Jannati. So is there any doubt left? I mean, I believe in his being Jannati as I believe that Surah Fatiha is part of Quran. Because the same tongue told us that this is Quran. The same tongue told us that he is Jannati. So we don't have doubt on being Jannati. But look at the way, their lifestyle, their thinking. That they always asking, Ya Allah forgive, Ya Allah forgive. We sinners. So tonight is the night that you make dua, Allah will accept. And for whoever you make dua, Allah will accept that too. So I request you to make dua for me, that Allah forgives my sins and He gives me Jannat. Because Jannat is the only place where we can live comfortably. Nobody can bear the azab of Jahannam. Nobody. Not even a second. If anyone feels that, I can bear it or I can do it, it's impossible. The azab that starts in the qabr, the scorpions, the snakes that are put in the qabr to punish, they are so poisonous that if the snake of the grave of Alam Barzakh bites on the ground, the grass will never grow on the ground till the day of Qiyamah, because of the effect of the poison. Now if such snake is appointed upon anyone to punish him in the grave till the day of Qiyamah, what would be his condition? Who can bear that? The least punishment in the Jahannam is that a person is given a shoe made of fire to wear. That's the smallest, the least. And it would be so hot that his brain will start boiling. The heat that would be going from his legs to his brain, in his own body, that his brain will start boiling. And he will think that I am being punished the most, whereas he is being punished the least. And if a person is pushed more forward, that's the basic, then what would be his condition? So do we have that attitude, I'll see what happens. It's very dangerous. You have to change that. And Allama have said that the person who says, I'm not scared of Jahannam, that's a kufr. How can someone say, I'm not scared of Jahannam? But people say, I don't care, if Allah can want to put me in Jahannam, He can put me in Jahannam. That's a kufr. We need to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save us from Jahannam. We need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us Jannat. So tonight is the night that the promise is there that our du'as would be accepted and the forgiveness is overflowing. So please make dua for yourself, for your family, for your parents. Make dua for me. Make dua for your Imam Sahib. All these people that have helped you in any way in your life, don't forget them. Your teachers in madrasa, your appa in madrasa, munshi sahib in madrasa, they are the people that have made change in your life. They taught you basic diniyat, basic aqaid, basic namaz, how to read Quran. It's very strange that we don't kiss their hands. Somebody comes, Pir Sahib comes, you took bayat today with him, you kiss his hands, even feet. Even though you made no contribution in your life, taught you nothing. But those Atta, those Maulana, those Imam Sahib, that day and night, giving you lectures, teaching you, giving you information, uplifting your life, changing your life, making contribution, you don't show that respect to him. You don't even show that respect to your parents. They brought you up and sent you all the good courses, schools, education, spend their hard earning money. So, have you not lost your balance somewhere? It's just because that's the culture, so you're doing that. But in our culture, people kiss Pir Sahib's hand and they don't kiss Ustad's hand. Or they don't kiss Maulana's hand. Or they don't kiss parents' hand. So I'm fitting in the culture. But tell me that brain to think. The people that are doing favors to us, we're not showing that respect to them. But we show respect to someone who maybe just come today from India, Pakistan, or Arab, or Damascus, or from here and there. Because this is how my father did them, this is how my uncle did them, this is how my neighbors did, and this is how everybody did, so I'm doing the same way. I'm not saying don't show them respect. If you have taken that and you have taken someone as your Shaikh, Shaikh is a teacher. A teacher knows who teaches you. So if he hasn't taught you, then how come he's your teacher? So you need to sit with him and learn something for him to qualify a teacher. So respect him. I'm not saying don't respect him, respect him. But respect your Maulana, respect your Ustad, your Appa, your Alim Sahib, your Ustad Sahib that taught you, your father, your mother. They did so much for you. So all these people that have done favors upon you, don't forget them tonight. Make special dua for them. And make everybody happy, make everybody pleased. Ask forgiveness from each other. Brothers, sisters, not talking, hating, problems, forgive them. Forgive for the sake of Allah, forgive them. Do the forgive for the sake of Allah, Allah forgives them. Brothers not talking with brothers, sisters not talking with brothers, on petty issues in the family, cutting family ties. Rasulullah said that the one who cuts family ties, Allah Ta'ala cuts him from His mercy. You want to be cut from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can't survive a moment without the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keeping grudge, anger against relatives, cousins, uncles, aunties, it would never help you. Sila Rahmi, do Sila Rahmi, go forward, meet them. Even if they don't want to meet you, go meet them. Show the love. You will be the better person, you will get the reward. And Sila Rahmi is not that, oh, when you talk to me, I'll talk to him. No. The Sila Rahmi, making bond in the family, is that he doesn't want to talk to you, but you go and talk to him. That's the Sila Rahmi. That's what our deen wants. So you don't add to the burning fire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and all of you the tawfiq. Ameen. Bijahil Nabil Ameen. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam.
अभी जो हमने सिलसिले में हिफाज़त फरमाया, इसके बारे में अपने तासुरात और मदनी मशवरे 03122138889 और 03012612 पर SMS या फीडबैक@madani.tv पर मेल कर सकते हैं।